Alright, as you can see, it's currently 5:20 in the morning. We're still getting around 25 miles to the gallon. I'm kind of whispering because I want to make sure Jane does not wake up. And it's currently raining. There has been some spectacular lightning strikes all over the place for the last 2 hours. Needless to say, the truck's doing well. Great tires. I got Rain-X on the windshield, doing quite well as well. Nothing to write home about, just driving my truck in the rain at 5 in the morning.
So some of you guys may wonder what radar detector I'm using, and that's a very old Escort 9500 XI radar detector. It's been 9 or 10 years since I bought it. It works really, really well. But the way I talk about radar detectors is, it's more of a tool than anything else. It's not a get out of jail free card by any means. Cops can still very easily catch you. This will not block any type of radar. So just keep that in mind. It's a tool more than anything. You got to use your wits about you. And it's definitely helped me in a lot of my trips, so I definitely don't leave home without it.
Alright, here we are. So we are in Georgia. We're about 45 minutes away from our destination, maybe an hour away. And we're taking a little break here. We're at Advanced Auto Parts. We're running out of DEF fluid. So my truck is not deleted yet. It will be deleted and tuned hopefully by the end of this summer. Until then, we do got to keep on putting in DEF fluid. So what I like to do is usually I go to truck stops, and they, in my experience, have the freshest DEF fluid. You have the least amount of issues with your DEF system if you get it from truck stops. But since we're traveling, we're in the middle of Georgia, I don't feel like wasting too much time. I'm gonna just go ahead and get a gallon or two of DEF fluid. I'll put it in the truck and we'll be on our way. Alright, so here I am. I'm at O'Reilly Auto Parts. I got the O'Reilly DEF fluid, 2.5 gallons. I don't know if I'll use the whole thing. So this is how it comes. It's got the nozzle. Take this off, peel this off here, and that's it. And you put this on here. Make sure you put it on right. Alright, and this is where the DEF fluid is. This is the blue cap here. You take that off. And then make sure the nozzle's in there. And you let it rip. Alright. I would leave the bottom, because the bottom has sediment in it. The bottom of this tank has a little bit of sediment. Don't put that in your DEF fluid tank. Not that it matters. I am going to delete this thing, so I just pop this back on. And that's it. Let's get her back on the road. Alright guys, so as you can see there, we have made it. We're about 15 minutes away from the trailer. place. The reason we came down here is we're saving $2,500 on this trailer. So be sure to look up the next couple of videos that I'm going to do. I'm going to do a full review of this whole process, the whole trailer, why I bought it from where I bought it, and if you're interested, how you can do so as well. Now for this video, the good, the bad, the ugly of the ZR2 as a road trip car. 14 hours in this thing straight. Now I was a passenger for about 4 or 5 of those hours. The rest of it I drove. What can I say besides positive, overwhelmingly positive things? The Android Auto worked flawlessly. Never had an issue. We switched phones every once in a while. Never had one issue when we switched phones or putting in any kind of information in there, or looking at the maps, putting in music, putting in I do some podcasts as well. That works very, very well. All my phones are charged up. No hiccups at all there as well. I did have to refill the DEF fluid. That's a mild annoyance. That's something that I will be taking care of very soon. That's a pretty big negative in my opinion. Having to always make sure your DEF fluid is topped up. You don't always have DEF fluid available. Not all gas stations have DEF fluid, and if you count down to 0, it gives you a countdown. If you got to count down to 0, then it will give you reduced power, and you won't be able to get on the highway. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm definitely going to be deleting that as soon as I can. The driving style of the truck, it drives very easily. The fatigue is minimalized because the shocks, DSSV shocks, and you're higher up on the ground. You don't have to worry about any bumps. You don't have to worry about any potholes. You don't have to worry about hitting anything crazy. It's just a really easy truck to drive. It also gives you a lot of visibility, so you can look over most cars and even trucks. And because you get that extra visibility, you can plan ahead. And again, that helps you with driver fatigue. Something to keep in mind. So I drive a lot of cars, sports cars and things like that, and they're always pretty low to the ground. And having this extra visibility is so good when you're in this truck. Being a passenger in this truck, again, the suspension really, I'm so glad I got the ZR2. You're really higher up, and everything, we just kind of float over everything. This is a very bumpy section. We've been on rural roads in Georgia, south of Atlanta. We're like 3 hours south of Atlanta right now, and everything is bumpy. Everything is undulating. It's the country roads, and I was able to sleep. I took a nice hour and a half nap. I feel better. I'm not, haven't had a full night's sleep, so I'm a little groggy, but that's all right. And the suspension just made everything so much better. It feels great to know that we can go ahead and keep driving this thing for quite a long time and not have any issues at all, except for maybe having to buy some DEF fluid down the line, which again, not a big deal. And yeah, so if you have any questions on this, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, I will be releasing a couple more videos. I'll be doing a full review of this trailer that I'm getting. It's going to be awesome, this trailer. And then I'll also be doing a full tow review of the ZR2. So we're going to tow this 2,900 pound trailer. It's a 8.5 by 20 trailer all the way from here back. So 14 hours of trailering that back. So be sure, don't miss out on that. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.